next is about dynamic range and precision. So the dynamic range can be defined as the ratio of the maximum value to the minimum value that a signal can take, and in a given representation scheme or in a given representation format. So whether it is a fractional type of representation or a floating point representation, maybe a single precision or a double precision that we have already discussed. So the dynamic range is considered to be the ratio of the maximum to minimum value. The dynamic range of a signal is proportional to the number of bits. So the dynamic range is always proportional to the number of bits which we are going to use to represent a signal, and increases by 6 dB for every additional bit used for the representation. For example, if we are using 4 bits to represent a particular signal or a number, 4 bits to represent a signal, then we are going to consider additional 6 dB, which is for additional bit which is used to add up to a particular signal. So if the number of bits are 4 and if the number of bits are raised to 5, it means one additional bit is being introduced into the number of samples for a signal. So in that case, there is an increase of 6 dB for every bit which gets added to the representation format. So next comes the resolution. So this is one of the definition what we are going to define. Resolution is a minimum value that can be represented using a number representation format. So it is just a minimum value which can be represented. So for instance, if n bits are used to represent a number from 0 to 1, the smallest value it can take is resolution is defined by this 1 by 2 power n for larger value of n. If n is 4, it is 1 by 2 power 4. It is 1 by 2 power 4, which is equal to 1 by 16. So that is the resolution, which is a minimum value that can be represented for a given number. Then resolution is normally expressed based on the number of bits. Okay, and some cases it is going to be expressed as a percentage. Normally it is expressed as a percentage value. Then precision is an issue which is related to the speed of the DSP implementation. See, whenever we are going to look into any DSP processing, we look into a concept called as accuracy. So accuracy is very important, which is nothing but a precision, which is always an issue when it comes to a signal processing, which is using a DSP processor for any applications, which uses a DSP processor for implementation. So in general, techniques are there to improve the precision of the implementation, but it reduces the speed as well if we try to improve the precision, or if the accuracy of the implementation, or if the accuracy is going to be increased or improved, then it may also affect the speed. Then if I consider larger word size, which can improve the precision, but there might be a problem with the speed of the processor, especially with the width of the bus, because the width of the bus is limited, but due to the change in the size of the word what we are using to represent a signal, then so for example, if I consider 32-bit product, so 32-bit product is based on two 16-bit numbers, 16 cross 16 multiplication is carried out, and it has to be preserved without loss of the precision, because whenever we go with the DSP processor, we should have accurate result, or the DSP implementation should be precisely done. So two memory accesses are required to store this particular number. Then we take an example based on the precision, resolution, and the other form. So calculate the dynamic range and precision of each of the following number representation format. So firstly, we have to calculate what is the dynamic range. We know that the dynamic range is given by the ratio of the maximum value to the minimum value of a signal which is represented in any form. Now, and also we are going to determine what is the precision of number. Precision, we have already discussed about that. Then representation of number may be single precision fixed point format, double precision fixed point format, and floating point format. So here he has specified that the total number of bits which are required for a signal which is to be represented. One is the 24-bit single precision fixed point format. The other is 48-bit double precision fixed point format. Then we have a floating point format with 16-bit mantissa and 8-bit exponent. So we have already discussed it. The mantissa is m and 8-bit exponent is e. So we take mx for a variable x if we assume the value is x or variable x. Then ex for the exponent part. Then if I go with the solution of this example, then the bit will give me the dynamic range of 6 dB. So the total dynamic range is 24 into 6. That is, for each bit representation or additional bit representation, we saw that there is a change in 6 dB, or there is an increase in 6 dB. So 24 is the number of representation bits. Number of bits which are represented is 24 bits. So n will be 24. So if I assume the value of n is 24, then it is 24 into 6, which is 144 dB. So that is for the first single precision fixed point format representation. Then coming to the second part, percentage resolution is 1 by 2 power n. So n takes a value which is 24. So we have seen that in percentage resolution, which gives us the minimum value which is used for representing that sample in a signal. So 1 by 2 power 24 into 100 is 6 into 10 power minus 6. But since each bit gives a dynamic range of 6 dB, the total dynamic range for this 48-bit representation is 48 into 6, which is 288 dB. And the percentage resolution for this 48 dB is 1 by 2 power n, where n is 48. So 1 by 2 power 48 into 100, which is giving us 4 into 10 power minus 13. So this is the minimum value which can be used for representing a 48 bit. This is the minimum value for representing a 24-bit number. So 288 is the minimum value which is used to the dynamic range which is used to represent a 48-bit number. Similarly, for the floating point representation, the dynamic range is determined by the number of bits in the exponent. So that is already known. Since there are 8 exponent bits which are specified in the problem, the dynamic range is 2 power n minus 1 into 6 dB. So it is 2 power 8 minus 1. 8 is nothing but the value of n. 2 power 8 minus 1 into 6, it is 1538 dB. So this is what we consider for the calculation of resolution, calculation of the dynamic range for any given number in any format. Then we have a percentage resolution for the particular number. So that is 1 by 2 power 16 into 600. So that is giving us 1.5 into 10 power minus 3, and it is expressed in percentage. So this is for a fractional part. So for the fractional part, the resolution is calculated by 1 by 2 power n into 100. So 1 by 2 power 16, and 16 bits are used in the mantissa in the given problem. So that will give us 1.5 into 10 power minus 3%. So this is what we consider for resolution and dynamic range. Now coming to this sources of error in DSP implementation. So whenever we consider the sources of error in DSP implementation, we come across 3 different concepts. One is, initially the real-time signals are analog in nature, and these analog signals are to be converted to digital, because the DSP cannot process an analog signal. It requires a digital signal to process. So we are going to convert analog signal to a digital signal, and using a to D converter. Further, it is used by the DSP processor, and here in the DSP processor the processing is done, and again the digital signal has to be reconverted back. So that is done by using the digital to analog converter at the other end. One is done at the input side, one is done at the output side after the processing from the DSP processor is done. So sources of error mainly exist in these 3 stages. One is either in the case of analog to digital converter, or in a DSP device, or at the D to A converter. So the DSP system always produces any sort of error in these 3 stages. So these 3 are the sources of error in any DSP implementation process. So already we have discussed about the accuracy or the precision. So the accuracy of any DSP implementation mainly depends on the number of factors which are contributed by A to D and D to A conversion. So this is how the conversion is properly done depending on the accuracy, and how the calculations are performed in the DSP device. So the DSP which is using the processing system should calculate and give the results properly without any error. And whenever I consider the A to D or D to A conversion, there should be a proper representation of analog signals by a limited number of bits. But if that occurs in A to D and D to A conversion process, there is some error which is introduced into the conversion process during A to D or D to A, that is quantization error. The quantization error will decrease with increase in the number of bits. So what I have to consider is if I want to decrease the quantization error which exists during the process, I have to represent the number, or I have to represent a signal with increase in the number of bits used to represent A to D or D to A converter. So that is very important when we consider this quantization error. Then these errors in DSP calculations are due to limited word length. So that we have to take care of whenever we consider any DSP calculations to be done. The words length of the word or length of a particular sequence should not be limited. Then these errors also depend on how the algorithm is implemented in a DSP architecture. So whatever the architecture we are going to use, those architecture of a DSP should support the algorithm which is developed. So that is the main thing. And whenever we consider any algorithm, this algorithm should be free of errors, and these errors can be reduced by using a larger word length. So whenever we are going to represent larger word length, in the sense we should require more number of values or more data or more values to represent a signal. So as we increase more number of values, or more length of the data is very high, it means that we get the processing done with accurate value, or we can do it with high precision. And it is also done by using rounding instead of truncation in the calculation. So rounding is the main concept what we prefer to use in DSP implementation rather than going for a truncation, because in truncation we get errors even after considering a very large length of a data. We go with A to D conversion. So if I consider A to D converter with B bits used to represent an unsigned value. So any bit we have taken here, the number of bits are used to represent the unsigned signal value. In the digital form, if I consider a binary value, then we have ones and zeros which are used to represent it in digital form. So the least significant bit what we consider for representing is the delta, which is equal to 2 power minus b, and the maximum error is due to the quantization, which depends on this particular value of b. B represents the number of bits for A to D converter. Now the quantization error for the conversion is given by this equation. So E is equal to xq minus x, where xq is nothing but a quantized output and x is the input. So whatever error we are going to get, this error mainly depends on the difference between the quantized output and actual input. So if I see that the quantized output is say 3 and input is say 2, then the error is 1. Okay, so E quantization error is 1. So if I just go on increasing the quantizing error, so if this is 4, then again the error is going to increase to 2 instead of 1. So if this 3 changes to 4, that is a quantized output, then it will badly affects the system output. And this error is called a truncation error. So the main thing what we have to follow is we should not consider a truncation error. Instead, we have to go with a rounding error. If we are going to round it to a particular value, nearest value, then the error can be reduced. So delta by 2 plus or minus delta by 2 is the limited or the limit of that error which can be observed during the process of rounding. So whenever we go with the rounding process for any operation to be done, then it is going to be minimized. Then DSP computational error. So this is either with A to D or D to A conversion. This is mainly based on the DSP structures what we are going to represent in terms of a signal values as coefficients. So whenever we are going to represent any DSP architecture, those are based on the signal values and those are based on the coefficients. So we require more number of coefficients to represent any signal. So if we try to reduce the number of values or number of signal values in a signal, or number of coefficients in a signal are reduced, it affects the computing process of a DSP. So these numbers are typically represented in a signed fractional 2's complement form, and this is always done by using a unit which is called as MAC or MAC unit. So which perform two operations simultaneously, that is multiplication and accumulation. So it just multiplies two numbers or two values, and it is going to accumulate the result, or it is going to store the result. Then D to A conversion process. So in the D to A conversion process, if we use fewer bits for the conversion, then the number of bits required by the computed result produced by the DSP device. It means that the sources of error is due to the less number of bits which are used to convert, or which are used for during the process of conversion. So earlier I told you regarding A to D conversion errors, even the error in the A to D conversion occurs only whenever the number is represented, or a signal is represented by very less number of bits. So if it is going to increase, then it reduces the quantization error. The similar type of error which can be reduced in the D to A conversion process. So this is similar to the truncation or the rounding of error what we have seen in A to D converter. So that can be minimized if I try to increase the number of bits used to represent. So bits are to be more which are used to represent in a signal. So that is what we consider. So these three are the sources of errors in DSP computing system.